Okay, we're getting into week 7. We're coming up to the midway point of our semester, okay, because remember we started 3 weeks late, so we're not quite there yet. Don't lose steam. We're almost done with essay number 2. We just have just a few more days on this. I know you can do it. You just have to push through. It's really important to get this essay written, even if you haven't finished reading or if you're having struggles reading Pedagogy of the Oppressed. Just deal with the parts of it that you need to, which is the definition of banking and problem posing. Focus on that right now, and we just need to write it. Okay, so let me show you the assignments that we have this week. We do have quite a few of them, but everything that you're going to do this week, you will be able to use in your essay at some point. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So you can see there's actually 3 assignments due Tuesday, 2 Thursday, and then 1 Sunday. You've got to get these things in. Give yourself plenty of time this weekend. Don't wait until Tuesday night to start. You won't have time, okay? So you need to start working on this before Tuesday to get everything in. Okay, we are going to meet on Monday night, and I will go over some of this stuff and also answer any questions that you have. So it's a good idea if you try to meet me on Monday if you can. So first thing is we're dealing with some definitions of the banking model and problem posing education. So you know that in your essay you have to write the definitions of banking and problem posing, and you have to do it in 2 different ways. You need to mention it in the introduction so that we understand just very generally what we're talking about here, but you don't want to give away too many details. So you should try to think about defining both banking and problem posing with either 1 sentence each or 1 long sentence where you can define both of them in just very, very general terms. And then when you get to the body of your essay, you're going to do longer definitions. So that's what we're dealing with here. The short definition and then also a longer definition that includes a quote. And again, I'm hoping that if you get this written, that you can use this or something very, very similar actually in your essay when you go to write your first draft. Okay, so this is just about thesis statements. We have talked a little bit about thesis statements, but just give this a read over, and there's a web page here that I do want you to read that talks about thesis statements that should help you. Okay, what I have here are 4 different introductions that were written by students in my classes last semester. Okay, so we've got Introduction A, and then I made a little video about Introduction A. So the document is here. You can either preview it or you can just download it and then read the 1-page document. It's just the introduction. And then I have a little video where I talk about it. What you need to do is to answer these 3 questions about these 3 introductions. So don't do it about Introduction A. That's just for you for a model. Okay, for Introduction B, you're going to answer 1, 2, and 3. For C, you're going to answer 1, 2, and 3. And for D, you're going to answer 1, 2, and 3. And then one last question. Okay. For the discussion this week, you only have to post. You don't have to reply to anyone. And what it is looking at Pedagogy of the Oppressed. So this is the same document that you read before, that you did your reading log on. I have it here again for you. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to answer the questions and then do a citation sandwich at the end. So I do have an example here for you. Okay, and then we'll meet on Wednesday morning as well. This is one item that I would like you to include in your essay number 2. This is something called a counter argument. So if you haven't heard of counter arguments, or you've kind of heard of them, but you don't really know what it is, make sure that you're reading this page very well, that you understand this. This is something that I'll be talking about when we meet on Monday and Wednesday. So this is something that's typically a little bit confusing for students. It's hard to get this exactly right, but I do want you to include it in your essay as a separate paragraph. So you can read about it here, watch my video about it, and then I'd like you to actually try to make a counter argument here. And I will give you some feedback on that. Okay, now here's where things are going to get tricky, okay? So I am asking you to turn in your introduction and your thesis statement to me on Thursday, and then on Friday, hopefully I will be able to give you feedback on them. That way you'll have Saturday and Sunday to complete your first draft of the entire essay, okay? If you get this turned in early, I'll be looking at the grade book and trying to keep up with grading. I know I'm behind in grading, but I will make an effort to keep up in grading for this particular one. Make sure that I give you some feedback on it so that you have a better idea of what to put in your first draft when you do turn that in. Okay, and then I'm just going through the rubric on this one. It's almost the same. The points are just a little bit off from our last rubric. And then the very last thing for this week is on Sunday, I want you to write your first draft of this essay, okay? Try as hard as you can to write the entire essay. So I want an introduction, at least 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Even if you only have 1 or 2 sentences for a paragraph, I really want to see the whole thing laid out, okay, what you have in mind. The more that you can write in this first draft, the more comments I can give you back, and then the easier your final draft is going to be. So try to write as much as you can. Remember that the final draft is about 3 pages long, okay? If the first draft is not that long, that's perfectly fine. I'll give you some suggestions for what you can add to make it longer. Okay, so that takes us to the end of the week. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I will be around and I will see you on Monday. Okay, bye-bye.